Stop scrolling. What you're about to hear could one day save your life. Imagine enjoying a normal day when suddenly the sky turns dark. Far away, you see what looks like a giant wall racing toward you. But this isn't a wall of water or fire. It's something even more dangerous. It's a haboob, a massive dust storm that can shut down an entire city in just minutes. On August 25, 2025, Phoenix, Arizona, experienced a day that no one will ever forget. What started as a hot, dry afternoon turned into absolute chaos. Within minutes, the sky, which was clear and blue just moments earlier, began to change color. First it turned gray, then a strange orange, and then almost completely black. Out of nowhere, a massive dust wall appeared on the horizon, stretching across the desert like a moving mountain. People who saw it coming said it looked like the end of the world. Within minutes, the giant dust storm slammed into the city. Streets that were full of cars and people suddenly went silent as the wall of dust swallowed everything in its path. Visibility dropped to almost nothing. Drivers panicked, pulling over to the side of the road, while others kept going and ended up in dangerous accidents. The storm moved so fast, it left thousands of people trapped wherever they happened to be inside stores, schools, and offices. Unable to step outside. At the airport, chaos unfolded as strong winds forced planes to stay grounded. Flights were delayed, canceled, or diverted, leaving travelers stranded with no idea when they would be able to leave. Inside the city, power lines snapped under the force of the winds, plunging entire neighborhoods into darkness. More than 50,000 homes lost electricity, leaving families without air conditioning during one of the hottest times of the year. Emergency crews tried to respond, but the storm was so intense that even they had to pull back at times. Roads were too dangerous to drive on. Streetlights went out, traffic signals failed, and accidents piled up across the valley. People who were outside rushed to find shelter, covering their faces with shirts, scarves, or anything they could find to keep from choking on the dust. This wasn't just another summer storm. This was one of the strongest and most destructive dust storms Arizona had seen in years. It didn't just disrupt life, it completely stopped the city in its tracks. The storm was born in the Santa Catalina Mountains. Powerful thunderstorms sent cold air crashing down to the desert floor. That air picked up loose sand and dirt, and in seconds, it turned into a moving wall of dust, and Phoenix was directly in its path. At Sky Harbor International Airport, the winds were so strong, they reached up to 70 miles per hour. All flights were canceled. Parts of the terminal roof were ripped apart, the SkyTrain stopped running. Ground crews had to rush to secure airplanes before the winds damaged them. For hours, one of the busiest airports in the country was completely frozen, all because of this one storm. But the airport wasn't the only place affected. Across the city, more than 50,000 people lost power. The hardest hit areas were Chandler, Gilbert, Glendale, and South Mountain. In Mariana, the storm ripped the entire roof off a house. Inside homes, the dust seeped through windows and doors, covering everything and making it almost impossible to breathe. For people with asthma or lung problems, it was a nightmare. On the roads, the situation was terrifying. Visibility dropped to just 50 feet. Imagine driving on the highway and suddenly being unable to see more than a few car lengths ahead. Drivers were forced to slam on their brakes, and accidents started piling up. Emergency crews rushed out to clear roads, remove debris, and restore power lines. But it was almost impossible to keep up with the chaos. And then came the second wave of trouble: rain. After the dust storm, heavy monsoon rains poured down, streets flooded, drainage systems couldn't keep up, and highways like Interstate 17 had to be shut down. In some places, like Buckeye and Wickenburg, more than 2 inches of rain fell in just a short time. Phoenix was hit with a double disaster. First dust, then floods. Meteorologists later explained exactly how this monster storm formed. It all starts during Arizona's monsoon season, when thunderstorms build up high above the desert. These storms grow heavy with rain and energy, but sometimes, instead of just releasing water, they collapse. When that happens, powerful winds rush straight down from the storm clouds. These winds are called downdrafts, and when they hit the ground, they explode outward in every direction like a giant invisible wave. Now imagine that wave of air slamming into the desert floor. The desert soil is dry, loose, and dusty, fuel for disaster. As the winds spread, they scoop up billions of tiny sand and dirt particles, lifting them high into the air. Within minutes, what was just harmless desert dust turns into a solid-looking wall that can stretch for miles across the horizon. From a distance, people describe it as a giant brown curtain racing toward them. But once it arrives, everything changes, the sun disappears, the air turns heavy. You can't breathe without coughing, and the dust swallows entire neighborhoods, highways, and buildings in seconds. Meteorologists say this is what makes haboobs so terrifying. They form incredibly fast, they travel with extreme speed, and once that wall of dust hits a city, there is no way to escape it. All you can do is find shelter, wait, and hope the storm passes quickly. So what should you do if you ever get caught in one? Here are life-saving tips everyone in Arizona needs to know. If you're at home, stay inside. Close all doors and windows. Turn your air conditioning to recirculate mode so the dirty outside air doesn't enter your home. If you're driving and you see a dust storm coming, pull over immediately, turn on your hazard lights, and stay inside your car until the storm passes. Never try to outrun a dust storm. Moves faster than you think. Keep an emergency kit in your home with flashlights, batteries, water, food, and medicine, because you never know when power might go out. City officials are now working on stronger power lines, better emergency alerts, and smarter city planning to handle storms like this. But the truth is, the real responsibility is on us, the people who live here. We have to be prepared, because these storms are not going away. One storm shut down an entire city. Schools closed, businesses stopped, highways froze, and the airport was silent. It was proof that even the most modern city can be brought to a halt in minutes by the power of nature. And here's the reality, this won't be the last one. Another dust storm could hit tomorrow, next week, or next month. The question is, will you be ready? Share this video so more people know what to do when the next one comes. A little knowledge can save a life. Stay safe, stay alert, and remember, monsoon season is only just beginning.